Aloha, friends and neighbors. Program 958 coming at you. I'm going to cover the second week in April. Rocky Road, that's what April is, because of that eclipse at 14 Libra. Yeah, well, that's a really interesting month. Listen, there's some real ups about this. Yeah, this month has some goodies in it. Here's Jupiter trining Uranus. Jupiter stations April 8th. Should be on the 10th, I believe. And if the History channel is putting on some new thing on UFOs. Maybe a little more on that later, but a lot of new truths are coming out. Jupiter's trining Uranus. It's all truth about Uranus kind of stuff. That's always UFOs. So this is a big deal because Jupiter's stopping wisdom, lightning bolts of truth. You know, I just learned today on the 29th of May that Phoenix is at 97 degrees. Whew, unheard of. Global warming. Wow. I was thinking, this is terrible. I'm starting to hate the deniers of global warming and the harm they're doing for everybody. And then I had some wisdom come my way from this trine. And I'm going to show you a piece of that before I get into this. It just happened to be a commercial by Android on the History Channel. Warmed my heart, and it gave me an idea. You know, maybe I don't gotta hate these deniers and put them all on an island and shut them up, or what. Maybe there's another way at this. Okay, this is actually an insert. My internet show number 958 came with a flag. They wouldn't play it. There was copyright problems in this country because I fell in love with this Android commercial called Forever Friends, where they had the dog and the deer and the tiger and the bear. Everybody, they had all these different animals running around just being pals and buddies. And I just loved it. So I decided I was going to share it with folks, which wasn't a very good idea. Anyway, what happened was they blocked it on my internet show. It's very interesting. Now I'm here on the 6th, I'm on the 7th of April. Yeah, and today, which is Tuesday, the power went off in Washington, D.C. Now, that was a prediction that I made, very solid, that Uranus-Pluto square lined up on Washington, D.C., and the Uranus thing hit, and they were out of power. And now I realize that I'm Uranus sometimes, huh? Can't help it. Uranus rules astrology and video and all that stuff. And someplace out there, there's a Pluto character who is a censor who actually blocked my show from showing on the internet, Squared Uranus, because of that Android commercial. Business. First thing on my list here is let's get a handle on this next couple of weekends for you, huh? And I made a note here. Well, there's a new moon, April 18th, 28 Aries. That won't hurt, but you know, April basically is a bunch of frantic Fridays. Yes, as you will see. Now, here's the reason they're frantic. This is Pluto. Here's the circle of spirit over the crescent of fleshed beings over the cross of matter. Pretty good guy, usually. If this is a policeman, he doesn't care for money, but he puts law above people. That's interesting. So, you know, he's in a total conflict because his power and control, which peaks out April 17th. He gets strongest. You'll get strongest. You have a Pluto inside yourself. You have a crocodile mind. Okay, it's your reptile brain, a bulb on the base of your spinal cord, and that baby's about flight or fight. And it's very intelligent crocodile. A Christian would take it for your inner demon, but it's not. It's just your crocodile mind. It's into flight or fight. and it's kind of panicky. Run or fight, and territory. All the crocodiles are into, you'll notice will come up in your life. Yeah, and peak out April 17th. It's actually gets stronger and stronger a couple of weeks before, peaks out April 17th and goes down. And the problem is that Pluto, there's a policeman. We've already had a lot of this. Here's the TV camera. Yeah, and we had a full moon which set off this pattern. Now you've still got Saturn square Neptune. This is going to go on for a while. Neptune's, gasoline and oil. Saturn squaring it, there's going to be a gas price. You might be sorry you have that big SUV. Get ahead of it. Go electric. That's what global warming demands. Yes, you need to start. We all need to start. Anyway, the good news is here's Jupiter. Hooray! Now, if you're sitting there on the 10th, Jupiter just stationed on the 8th. And so here's wisdom, here's flashes of insight, and Jupiter trining Uranus. That's the universal mind. That's the environment. That's everybody taking care of everybody. We ought to be like Europe and have a safety net that doesn't fail. Instead, what we're seeing is homeless people all over. A lot of those people will probably be better off in jail. You get 3 hots and a cot. I've been in jail. I've been in the army. When I'm homeless, that's really scary. Anyway, this full moon is stopping. You're getting a shot of it all the time. Probably every 4 hours, you're going to get a shot of truth and wisdom and brotherhood and common sense from Jupiter. Unfortunately, old Pluto up here isn't getting any of that. So he's going to be in the news a lot. And we got some timing on this thing because we just run the moon around here. He runs around once a month. And as the moon makes angles to these various actors on the stage, well, it generates the mood of the times. Here you are. Yeah. Now, on this coming weekend, Neptune and Mars are here good for Friday. Moon goes into Capricorn Friday morning, the 10th. Friday night, there's new stuff on the History Channel about UFOs. Could be startling. I got a lot of interesting things to say about that. I don't know if I have time this week. But upshot is, relax, have a beer, be with your buddies kind of Friday. Yeah, it's probably sports and things. Saturday, it starts, don't be mistaken. Saturday is different. Saturday starts the problem period when the moon goes by Pluto. Yeah, right here. Saturday morning, you wake up, there's sirens. And the square to Uranus is right here. It's, not long after, probably lunchtime. Eek, feel all alone. The power went out. I'm panicky. The moon goes by Pluto, folks, Saturday morning. You will tend to panic. I found myself out there throwing liloquois at a stray cat who was upsetting the territories. Territory. Oh, yeah, you're in my territory. So this can get kind of mean. And a lot of people here go to extremes. Kill them all. This has been on Sundays for a while. It's gone back to Saturday. This is the last Saturday. You'll feel it. After this, it goes back one day a month. It goes back to Fridays. That's why I call them Frantic Fridays. Anyway, this is a shitty Saturday. And you keep your head down Saturday morning. Stay home. Don't go out. When you hear a siren, it's a bad omen. Don't go out and get in your car and go anywhere. Don't start things on sirens. No. Like, you're not going to start much because here, late Saturday night, midnight, 1 a.m., here's a square to the sun. And Mercury there, can't talk. Plans aren't going through. There is a Venus here. Look at that. There's Saturday morning. Stay in bed, or Sunday morning, the 12th. Stay in bed late. Try to get a little rest, a little peace, calm, and sugar there. And make some plans here Sunday afternoon. Here's a sextile to Saturn from Aquarius. The moon's in Aquarius Sunday. It's a lot different than Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Aquarian feelings, hooray! The best of it is Monday, the 13th. Here in the middle of the day, in the afternoon, and well into the evening. Here's Uranus in the afternoon. Flashes of insight, brotherhood, wonderful stuff. Jupiter starts it off. We're doing too much here Monday morning. So Monday is a day of flashes and insights and brotherhood, and you can learn a lot more about things common sense stuff. Yeah. Continues through Tuesday morning. About the middle of the day, the moon shifts into Pisces here, a mutable water sign. Gets sticky. Here's Venus isn't doing so well. There's a moon squares Venus. There's no rest, there's no sugar, it's all sticky, yuck. And here's the moon squaring Saturn. And we didn't get enough. And there's no time and there's no money and there's depression and a lack of love here on Tuesday. And this is a bad time to go looking for goodies. This Saturn holds everything back. Troubles with liquids as the moon goes by Neptune. Late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. But here's Mars coming. The hero pops out. You might regain some faith. New inspiration hits Wednesday morning. The young men come out and say, don't listen to those girls. They're all depressed and stuck. Mars is going to be our hero here. He's inspired. Yeah, it's moon in Pisces. Hooray, there's a sextile to Pluto in the middle of Wednesday. We understand power and control. You got to use those crocodiles, huh? Farmers in India use all those big snakes to eat the rats. They make a pet snake. That's what the cobra dance is. Every farmer's got one big pet snake, might be 20 years old out in the field. He can take him in a basket and take him home. Snake never bite him or his family. He's got creative Pluto. You know, our policemen should be similar. Put them in white coats, take the sidearms off, give them long guns. It'll all change. Ha! Moon goes into Aries Thursday afternoon, the 16th of April, and everything heats up. Oh, yeah. Aries is hot. There's some goodies here. A little peace and quiet Thursday night, the 16th, with a nice Venus hit. But, you know, early Friday morning, the moon goes by the south node. You feel like you need help. You got tired. You ate too much. But you couldn't sleep, kind of stuff. Friday morning, bells are ringing already. By the middle of the day, you feel herky-jerky and, you know, the moon's going by Uranus. Eek, it's all shaky and we're all alone. And then there's a square to Pluto. Panickiness. Ugh. There's your frantic Friday. It's April 17th, and you won't forget this April 17th Friday, I guarantee you. The new moon comes up Saturday in the middle of the day on the 18th. So the moon leaves Aries. Maybe you can I don't know if you can forget all this shaking and all of this trauma and emergency here of Friday. It's if you can, you know, you can maybe make a new start here on Saturday in the middle of the day on this new moon. You could regain some faith in the afternoon with the sextile to Neptune. But there's a, you know, opposition to Jupiter, doing too much. Then a conjunction to Mars here, you know, late. That's Sunday morning. So here we're back in emergency stuff, huh? But this is anger. We had our emergency here Friday, but here we got angriness as the moon goes by Mars. Saturday night, Sunday morning, April 19th. Not an easy time. Maybe you'll figure out all this emergency here. The time to get to the trine to Pluto. That's about noontime on Sunday. A little discovery could happen if you can get over the Mars crap. Listen, you're getting angry, impatient. Ask yourself what you're protecting. There's physical stuff to do, but you don't know how. That's why you're angry or impatient. If you understand your job to protect, yeah, Sunday morning, well then, it's easy. Just go do it. It's physical stuff. You won't be angry or impatient. You'll be a hero. That's the key to handling old Mars best we can in this frantic Friday month of April. Yuck. The other thing I'm finding out is another insert, is that when you use SkyMarAstrology.com, you'll get the app site, and then you got to go to the lower right where the Sky Mirrors are and click on, if you want to see the full show, click on the little blue line and you get my full show. So I wasn't very aware of that before. It should be there, SkyMarAstrology.com/TV takes you right to the full TV shows, but that's been changed a bit too. So this Uranus stuff can be tough sometimes. The good news is I made all the newspapers on the Big Island now list the show. 20 years later, we got some truth from Uranus. Damn those Pluto characters, huh? What the hell? Censorship. Hey, can we talk about religion for a minute? No, they always said never talk about politics or religion, especially if you've been drinking. But it's my show, and I'll do what I want. Look, I'm here on the 29th, just before Easter, and what you see on TV is all this hoorah because, they keep telling you that it was the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims that figured out it was one God, only one. This is such crap because this makes you think that everybody else before these guys were some kind of superstitious savages that had thousands of gods and things. No, big lie. Propaganda by the Jews, Christians, Muslims, are one God. Oh yeah. No, it isn't. Listen, our ancestors knew, the ancient people knew, they all knew, that the one God is the Father, and that's the Son. The Son is the Father, is God. But are you going to ignore Mother? There's a moon in the sky too. Yeah, you got a mother there. I heard one of those outrageous investigate religion things said the Essenes or somebody said that God had a wife. Eek! Now, what do you do about Venus? There's a sexy sister. And Mars, the brother, the red guy. Jupiter, the uncle. Saturn, the old grandpa. These aren't gods that you worship. I mean, you're in a family. The one that runs things is Father. And you read Jesus, and you will see it's all about Father. Why they don't talk about Mother? Well, that's because these guys really just totally overdid this one God thing, thinking there's just one. You look in the sky, there's a sun and a moon. Now, what's wrong with you guys? This is how they made all the other religions look stupid and pagan, and primitive. And that's what I had to say about it, and I don't care who knows it. I know I've been a little hard on the Jehovah's Witness and such. So, I want to try to open up a space for all you religious people just to become a little more friendly with Father. Let's say, how could I say this? There are certain times when Father is more accessible. And this basically is what we call the no shadow time, when the sun is directly overhead, and I used to hang a pipe. I was going to get out my little 1/2-inch piece of pipe. It's about 2 feet long. I'd hang it up in the air, so when the sun got exactly overhead, it would go right through the pipe, and underneath the pipe, on a piece of cardboard, you'd see a perfect circle. And I knew that the no shadow time was exact, within a minute or two. And because I learned by trying it out that I had this amazing thing with Father, who obviously is the Son, and is like talking to him there. Now there's a history to this. All of Mesoamerica did this. You can only get it. You only can do this within the tropics. Okay, because outside there he doesn't stop directly overhead, but within the tropics the sun will have twice a year, will be directly overhead, and they say Father comes and sits with you. And that's what they put the pole up, the maypole, and all the children would put fruits and vegetables, flowers all over. Everybody went for a big celebration all over the Mayan and the Aztec and the Peruvian and all over that world. And the kids would all dance around, and they put a chair out there for Father, and Father would come and sit there, and you could kind of talk to God. What? Yes, that's what it was all about. Now, this thing was so widely celebrated, that the Spaniards that came in and burned all the books and did all that stuff and declared all the religion, everything pagan and work of the devil, sent some reports into the Pope. And the Spanish conquistadors and all of their church people said, wow, you just have to experience this. When you go and you sit down and at the no shadow time, it's just like Father's there in a way that it's extreme. So the Pope said, man, this is good for the natives, and he put out a book. In fact, the book had all the latitudes of all the Mayan, Aztec, Mexican cities, because it's all a north-south thing, how far south, how far north you are. So it only goes up to like 22 degrees, 23 degrees north. And he put out this booklet to all of his priests, the Pope, and said, let's do this ceremony, man. This is a cool ceremony. You all do it. Here's the time. The time you do it's important. Now, you can measure it with a piece of pipe like I did. I recommend that. It's so neat to just put a little piece of, where's my pipe? A little half-inch piece of pipe, and hang it up by a couple of strings, and it'll hang directly vertical. Okay, now I'm about to show you the list. I calculated all of these times, these dates, when the sun is at a no shadow point for you. Now it's traveling north. This is the best time to meet the sun because he's all full of good energy and he's going north. So we're going to start down at the southern tip of the Big Island at Volcano. And the date is May 17th. I draw a line over to Captain Cook below Kona. It's still May 17th. The time is interesting. It's 12:20 p.m. Now these times are all around 12:30. That's just time stuff, but they're a little different for each location, so you want to note that. So if you're in the southern half of the Big Island, May 17th, at 12:20 p.m., you should be sitting under a tree and make a chair for Father and sit with him. I'm serious. If you're in Kona and Hilo, this is May 18th at 12:21 p.m. Be exact with this. You're meeting your Father. Dress up. Bring some fruit. If you're in Waimea, all the way up to Honoka'a, it's May 20th. And the time goes up a minute, 12:22. Start a few minutes early and go for a few minutes. Talk out loud to the spirit. Make a lei, put it on the chair. Talk to your Father. And the spirits of your father and grandfathers. Okay, suppose you're on Maui at Lahaina, Ke'i Kahului, and even Lanai City. It's May 24th, and the time is 12:24. An amazing meeting, don't miss it. If you're in Kona Kauai, it's May 25th at 12:25 p.m. If you're at Lae, it's 5:26, May 26th. Yeah, probably, 12:26 p.m. You can see the times are moving. 12, 20, 21, 22, 24. They're moving slowly. Yeah. Anyway, here we are, Honolulu, big time stuff. Okay, May 27th. 12:29. Are you getting this? Almost exactly 12:30. That's why the time zone's built for Honolulu at 12:30. So May 27th, you don't want to, you go sit under a park and sit in a tree and pretend you're talking to yourself. Speak out loud. Don't be embarrassed. It's nice to do this all by yourself someplace. So, now the same time is good for Kaneohe over to Waianae, May 27th at 12:29. If you go a little further north up to Wahiawa, it's May 28th at 12:31 p.m., a 1 minute after. Now let's shift over to Kauai, and if you're in the Kaloa, Lahui area, it's May 31st. If you're up in Kapa'a and north of that line, it's June 1st at 12:35, and then the sun moves on up past our island chain. Times to go and meet your father. I'll try to remember to give them to you again, but wow, you're a spiritual person, you go to church, read the Bible, you know what Jesus says about Father? Well, go and meet your father. Just a note about this. I'm writing up the thing about Nene and Alala, the amazing Hawaiian goose, and even more amazing Hawaiian raven. This book, I don't recommend it. The Politics of Extinction on a Hawaiian Island. This guy wrote the book, Mark Jerome Walters, about the battles, the politics of what happened to the raven. Something we kind of overcome once I gave them the information about Captain Cook and Clark and King and what it was like that these guys were domestic animals. They kind of stopped putting them out in the wild. And we're going further with this now. We're right in the end tome. And so I don't recommend you read this until you read what I get to say here first. But this is all about the end of the raven. Haha. Sorry there, author Mark Walters. He didn't die. Don't be afraid now. Write it down. Go and meet your father. Aloha.